Hello team, welcome to another video at Raccoon Hill. We're going to talk about Lucian and the combo and why it's a good counter to Irelia and Draven. But let's just jump into it. Before the combo, do want to talk about the price of the deck and why you should play Lucian. Well, Lucian is a much cheaper deck than Draven, relatively speaking. I also think this price deck, the 527, is just the pre-sale hype. If you look at some of the expensive cards in the deck, right, the Forerunner card does come from a starter deck, and there's 2 copies of it. So again, I think this card will significantly go down. Sky4 Variant is not used in any other deck other than Lucian, realistically speaking, and again, that should be coming down as well. And again, Relentless Pursuit, great card, right? But with the result right now, I think being pre-sale, maybe you will settle around $20. So realistically speaking, I think the only incredibly expensive card in this deck is the Red Kaiser, which, if you do have access to the Chinese market, do pick it up for, roughly about 30 bucks or so for the Red Kaiser, and that will significantly bring down this card. So let's just quickly review the top 16 deck lists from Dalian. And of course, we have our favorite Brennhire, right? And our favorite Skyfall Arians and Triforce combo. Again, I think this list is relatively stable at this point with a lot of similar ideas. And at this point, we're just looking to fine tune. This is also the best of Lucian deck from Hindu. Well, again, opting into the Brynhire, Skyfall Arians, and Trinity Force play, just very consistent. And we're what we want with this deck. Again, the build or the general idea was brought up by Apple II, which is the the Fuzo champion, the Hanzhou second place, the Beijing 4th place, and for the Chongqing top 4 as well. So again, very decorated players. Please go support, and I'll leave link of the guys Billy in the description. And then, of course, we have the best of Chengdu Lucian as well, and I'll leave this guy's description really in the description as well. So again, why is this deck good into Irelia and Draven? Well, mainly because we have this Lucian, right? The Lucian champion unit that says, in addition to Weapon Master, the first time I conquer each turn, ready me. So we can conquer something and move back. And just like in League of Legends, we can, E in, do our full combo, E out. And it's really hard to deal with when it comes to decks that doesn't have too much way to deal with that. We have incredible numbers into Draven, such as our legend ability giving assault to +1 to any equipment, and enabling us to play equipments that would be normally considered insufficient stats for their ability, like Skyfall, like Triforce, right? But having the Lucian legend ability makes up for the shortcoming of those equipment cards. And then again, Relentless Pursuit, very great in any purple deck, right? Being able to play around many of their interactions and score incredible amount of points very quickly. And then just a quick funny short panel. Why is it good into Irelia? Well, if they charm us, right, which is their only way to kill back row units, our Lucian's legend ability will trigger because we're the attacker, and we'll have incredible amount of stats that becomes really hard to deal with when we have cards like Punch First, or we have cards like Relentless Pursuit to move it away, or we have cards like Ankle Shot that helps us with the removal of their equipment. They're going to be in a very tough spot, and as we know, if they charm at the wrong time and we score the point, then we get to hold. Irelia is very reliant on keeping their unit alive, and if their unit is not alive, well, they kind of just get they kind of just lose the game from there. But that's it for the explanation part. Let's jump into the combo part. Okay, welcome back. So let's get to the actual explanation of the deck. Real quick, one of the most important combo that you will need to learn deck is the 4-point Lucian combo. It's just very simple. It is with Triforce and Skyfall of Arion. With Lucian attached to it, we go in, right? Skyfall of Arion triggers. Triggers the vice versa effect of Triforce Hold. So we get 2 points, and then we play Relentless Pursuit. Move Lucian over here, right? Or we can move Lucian back first with his own effect because he becomes readied. But again, we will, Relentless Pursuit over, and we can, and then Triforce and Skyfall Arion triggers again, and that's a 4-point. Right? Again, in this deck, we have incredible ways of dealing with Draven holding one battlefield, or if you're slightly behind, a point or two, we're not worried, right? Because we have the Triforce combo. Again, as I was mentioning earlier, a lot of times you'll have few equipments for on your Lucian, and because Lucian has the effect to go in and conquer, you really don't give a Draven a chance to kill your Lucian, right? You go in, and then you come back, right? So Draven doesn't get draw against you, and then so what I said earlier about Irelia, right? If they charm our Lucian in to the battlefield, right? Or we become the attacker, and generally with 2 to 3 equipment attached, right? We'll get +3 from our Lucian legend, so that's 3 + 3, and then Triforce gives 2, Sterric gives 2 technically, and then Skyfall gives 2, right? That's again, so that's 12 power. It is incredibly hard for them to deal with us, and then of course we will have stuff like punch first, and with another incredible amount of 5 power, or angel shot to get rid of their equipment against Lucian, or sorry, angel shot that can remove their axes. Cards like Bone Shiver that it is really lacking when it comes to stats, only giving a +2, and very high equip cost becomes not so bad in Lucian because now technically it's giving 3 points. Again, Irelia and Charm's the only way to deal with back row, and we're always safe because we conquer and we move back. We have Relentless Pursuit too to move back our other units. Be incredibly hard for Irelia to deal with in this line correctly, and we have some interaction, such as Punch First being just 1 mana. Of course, it has a high cost of returning too, but just with 1 mana, leaving us up is going to give Lucian a huge advantage in that matchup when it comes to number. We're not going to be worried about getting outnumbered. So, moving on to like a potential a example turn. Let's say we win first against Draven, whatnot, right? We tap 2, and then again, once our turn comes again, we'll play Kaisa for free. And very important, we don't want to move our 2 up to get a point against Draven because they'll be easily able to deal with it and get a draw. So again, they move something up, they move their 2 up, they move their Draven up, they hide a card, which is a very standard Draven play. It's again it's going to be 8 might Dodo, and generally it's really hard to do, right? But we're not so worried as the Lucian player, where again we can go ahead and play Kaisa, trigger the draw, and then move the portal over. And at this time, we can play Triforce and then trigger the Forge of the 12th effect. And this line of play is one of the Lucian line of plays that we see on stream. But we trigger this, we tap our legend, and then we attach this to Kaisa, and now this is a point, right? With 2 points up for interactions, saving punch first and angle shot. So at this point, Lucian can no longer Draven can no longer just hold against us, right? If they went second, of course, in this line of play, they win second, they'll be at 7. They will be able to do Darius plus Axe, but this is why, again, with our interaction, such as punch first, right, and then angle shot, we're able to deal with that hold. And at this point, and that is if they have that option, that out, and if they don't, a lot of times that people won't be really able to deal with this board, right? The Triforce hold points, and then again, we move them back next turn. Of course, we'll always have Lucian as well, with the Relentless Pursuit as well. So again, from here on out, we'll have a really good game. We're never too worried about getting points every single game. We're just looking to preserve our board and have a very good try. And then let's talk about again why. Let's say we're Lucian and we go for a different line of play, right? We're attacking into say a Draven battlefield here, and just for visual effects, we'll add in Draven, here, and then for their favorite fan, right? And then they'll hide a card, whatnot. Let's say fight. Generally this, or they have they uh as well. So let's go through this lineup. So you're Lucian. Again, let's say you have a rated equipped plus Triforce, or other stuff. Generally, you'll be at plus 9. You'll be at 9. Get an incredible amount of numbers if we have more equipments, right? But let's say you have 2 equipment going into this board, which is pretty common early on. What can they do, right? Again, they can trigger they can trigger the oversized fan, the overzealous fan, right? Push us back. But that's why in our line, in some of the deck lists that we also have X Drinker as well, to give us the deflect, right? So again, it's going to be hard for them to deal with Draven, but the area, but let's say if they do, they push us back, but we're still in Spell Showdown. So at this point, we can play Relentless Pursuit, moving our Lucian back in, and with Relentless Pursuit, we can now equip one more weapon and whatnot. And at this point, if they do fight or flight against us, right, we'll be up a lot of tempo. And yeah, and if we have another Relentless Pursuit there, they basically lose game on the spot. Another situation that we see into Draven is Rebuke, right? So what happens then, right? You're saying, well, we're moving with our stuff, right? They rebuke our Lucian, okay? Well, that hurts, right? That's not that great, but we only actually need 5 mana to start attack back again. Play Lucian for 3, right? We'll attach the the Triforce to Lucian, right? And then we can, again attach a whatever, manually attach a serrated. So putting this back, and then Relentless Pursue, right? Uh, attaching the Skyfall, right, with the effect of Relentless, and moving back. Uh, sorry. So again, with 5 mana returning 2, we're able to immediately gather another attack onto Draven. And again, obviously, if they lose this, we conquer, we gather 2 point, we can move our Lucian back, right? And at that point, we're very far ahead. Again, next turn we can just continuously conquer, move back, get the 2 point, right? So it's going to be tough from there on out. Again, a lot of times you want to win one very important single combat, and that kind of decides a game. That's the combo for this video. Hopefully it was useful. Let me know what you guys think, and yeah, see you guys on the next